Hey, once again, guys, welcome back to the series I'm Turning 30. My name is Mitch. This is a video series where every single week I talk about something different in my life, whether that's stuff in the past, stuff that's happening at present, or stuff that will happen in the future, or maybe a mix of two or three of them. And as you can see today, I'm actually going to be showing you what my dating profile looks like. And by showing you, I am going to go on a website of one of the apps that I use, show the pictures, the prompts, and some messages that I send to people when looking to go on dates. The site/app that I'm going to be using is called OkCupid. No, this is not a sponsored video. I wish I had enough views to get sponsored. That'd be cool. But I genuinely just like their app the best, and I've pretty much gotten rid of all the other ones anyways and am inactive or have just deleted them outright. This is the only one that I'm like really active on anymore here in Japan. And with that, let's check it out. So here we have the website for OkCupid. I've actually never used the website before. I only use the app on my phone. But when I thought of this idea, I checked to see if they had a website, and they did. So we're going to be using that. And it's pretty much the same from what I can tell. But we're going to kind of start at the top and go down. As you can see at the very top, there's a little Discover tab that brings up the cues, the different cues for dating profiles. And in this Discover tab, you can see that there are 5 places that you can click to kind of swipe on people. So the first queue that you just automatically get put into is the recommended queue. Now the recommended queue is loosely based on what preferences you put in, but mainly I feel like it's kind of just location based. It kind of takes people that are somewhat close to you that you could even have a potential of seeing, even if based on answers you gave may not be the most compatible person for you. Next, you have the Cupid's Picks. Now, Cupid's Picks are people that usually are a much higher match percentage than the rest of the queue, but the option to like them isn't there in that specific queue. If I click on it, you'll see I get this prompt that people picked just for you that you have a higher chance of matching with. They refresh daily, and I'll only see them here. So they won't show up in any of the other queues. And you have a few people that you can click through and see their different profiles. It'll give you, I believe, 5. It gives you 5 people that you can check and see, and you have to super like them, which is a like that essentially just sends them a notification, lets you rise to the top of the queue. I don't really understand super likes, to be honest. I don't really understand how they're different, but essentially that's what this queue is. You're only allowed to super like people. They won't show up in your recommended queue, and you have to super like them. Next, if we go to the next queue, you see the match percentage queue. Now, match percentage is based on different questions that you answer when you are going throughout the dating site. So they have just a bunch of, I'm not sure if the company has made these questions or if people can submit them, but there are a bunch of questions that you can answer and also give the answer you want your partner to have answered. It'll make more sense in a second when I show the screen, but essentially that's what it is, just making sure questions and answers match up based on things that you prefer. And then next we go over to the passport queue. Now the passport queue is something that's very common on different apps, but you actually have to pay for, but on OkCupid it's actually free. It is essentially a queue where the location requirements are thrown out the window and you can match with anybody anywhere in the world. So you can see people in completely different countries, time zones, whatever you want. They can be found in this queue. Not a paid feature, just completely free. You can click on it and kind of go through it. And then the very last queue that I'll bring up is the super likes queue. Now, if you ever get super liked, the super likes will show up here. So obviously, as you can see, I have not gotten any. I would say it's not very common in general across any dating apps, at least in my experience, for men to get super likes. I feel like that's much more of a other way around thing. But yeah, I don't have any, so nothing I can really do with this queue. But if someone did, they would show up here and I would know that I showed up in their Cupid's Picks probably for them. Next, if we go back to the top, you will see that next to the Discover thing that has all of these cues for us, there is the Likes tab. And if this is like the paid version, so you can see who likes you, so you can kind of see like the blurred out profiles right here. You can see who likes you, pay a premium, and you'll unlock to see all these people that you have liked. There is also a intros tab, so people can on OkCupid send an intro message before you even match. So you can like someone and say, hey, I like this about you. Hey, this picture is cool. Hey, this prompt means this to me. You can make a joke. You can do whatever you want, but you can essentially send a message before even matching about something on their profile or completely unrelated to their profile, but you can send like this intro to showcase, I guess, yourself a little bit more. So that's where this would show up if somebody had sent me an intro, which people have, but as soon as you respond to it, they go away from this section. And then the last section right here is the you like section, which I believe if we click on would show you all of the profiles that I have liked. So if you scroll down, it will just show you every single profile of different girls that I have swiped right on or said yes to, essentially. It also gives you the opportunity, as you can see, to super like them. So that little like under their thing is like, you liked them, you're looking through this, and you're like, I actually really like this girl. I'm going to send her a super like to kind of boost your chances if you feel like that would help. And then the last tab is the messages tab. We can roll through some of the messages in a second, but I'll show you my actual profile first before we go through the messages. And I'll also show you the prompts that go towards the match percentage that I mentioned earlier. So I'll use this first profile in the recommended tab to kind of show you what a basic profile would look like. So right below the pictures right here, you can see that there's a self-summary or a bio or kind of about you type of thing. And this person has written, God has given me many opportunities to get fat and I have seized them all. So that's, I would say, it's not really an about me, but it's funny. Over here is details. Now this person doesn't have a whole lot of details, just who she is, what kind of relationship value she has, what type of person she's looking for, and how she's looking to date. So as you can see down at the bottom here, there is a percentage with both of our pictures and then an agree, a disagree, and a find out. And those are the questions that I mentioned earlier. So let's click on that and I'll show you guys what the questions look like. So if we click on this, you can see that there are a bunch of different questions. Now, I did mention that you have to answer 10, but you can make your answers private. If it's a question that you don't want people to necessarily know right away just from looking at your profile, you can hide it while having still answered it. So it looks like this person may have hidden 2 of them and answered 8 and left them up publicly. But if you just see some of them, it says, could you date someone who is really messy? We both said no. Are you currently employed? Yes, we both have full-time jobs. How long do you want your next relationship to last? Rest of my life. And it just has a bunch of different questions that you can go to. You can go to disagree right here. Is astrological sign important in a match? I said no, she said yes. So that's something that we differ on, which lowers the percentage. So we're sitting at an 89, and these 2 questions are weighted a certain way based on how we said how important it was to us. We have a slight difference, but mostly in common. So I would probably like this girl. She seems attractive, funny, and I would normally send her a like and some type of intro. And then before we get to my profile, just to talk about the 2 things that are right next to it, it says get OkCupid Premium. That's just the paid version. And then Boost. Boost is essentially a thing that you can use to make the algorithm show your profile more often to more people. I don't want to say pay to win because that doesn't make people swipe on you, but you're just essentially placed further up the queue on people that are around you, so you are more likely to be seen. Some people only swipe a little bit, and if they only swipe 10 times and you're not in those 10, you just won't be seen, and that's just kind of how the boost works. Never done it, but that's what it's used for. I meant to record this, I forgot, but I will show you what the queue looks like kind of when you're swiping through. This is what it looks like obviously on the website. Again, very similar on the app, but essentially you kind of look at the profile, see if you like the person. You can click through all their stuff. So I'll do that real quick for this profile off camera, so I have to do less editing. So based on the couple of pictures she has, as well as some of the answers to the match percentage thing that I mentioned down here earlier, she seems pretty cool. She's cute. And so I would hit the intro button right here on one of her pictures. And here, as you can see on the app, it brings up their picture and it says add a comment. So here you can type in whatever you want to say. And again, I'll show you the messages that I have sent with matches because those, I guess, are my successful ones. But essentially you could just say, hey, you're beautiful. Hey, we should go and do this sometime, just based on what they have in their profile. And then I found a profile that I am not going to match with. So this person only has 1 profile. The answers don't really line up with what I'm looking for. And so here I would hit pass. And as soon as you hit pass, it just brings up the next person in the queue. So now we'll get into my profile and we'll start off with the question prompts that I've mentioned before. So as you can see right here, this is the question page. There are 406 questions that I've answered, as you can see right here. There is a possibility that someone has answered all 406 questions that I've answered and they've answered the exact same things, and they could have a 100% match percentage with me if they had answered exactly the same on importance and answers. And as you can see right here, it says answer more questions below. It asks a question. This one's, do you consider yourself a perfectionist? No, yes, skip. And this section, when you do it like right here, same within the app, it's kind of like a quick section. But if we click on see answered questions, we get to this tab. Now, when we get to this tab, you can see on the left there are public, important, explained, private, and skipped. So public, all of the questions I believe that I've answered on the app are public. I don't think if I don't want somebody to know, I'd rather just skip it. So there are a couple that I've skipped, but you essentially can go through these questions and answer them. So we'll go to the unanswered question. Do you consider yourself a perfectionist? And if I click answer, it brings up this section right here, and you can click yes or no. Answers you'll accept. So what do I want my partner to have said to this question? So do I consider myself a perfectionist? No, not really. I don't care, I think, if someone considers themselves a perfectionist. So I'll check both boxes. And then this grays out because I've clicked on both. So it's of little importance to me, more than this right here. But if I said, no, I want to make sure they don't consider themselves a perfectionist, I could click, and it's very important to me that they don't think so. It will show up on my profile as that very important thing that you saw on the left before. And then if it's somewhat or a little, it just affects the match percentage. It doesn't say which one you picked, but it will affect the match percentage based on what the person said to that question. But we're going to answer it yes, no. You can explain your answer. That's where the explained, like if it's a question maybe that needs a little bit more context, you can write a prompt into there, and you can click that answer privately thing. It's just a little tab click, and it will go into a private thing and into the private section. Still affect your match percentage, but no one will be able to see the answer that you did to this question. And then once you've made sure that everything's correct, so I'm going to unclick answer privately because I don't care if somebody knows this question that sees this profile. You just click save right here, and it will actually just bring up the next question. It will not shoot you out to the main page. It will prompt you to keep answering questions because it wants to keep you in the app, obviously, but it will ask another question for you to answer. And then as you can see, I just answered the question. Now it's on my profile right there, and you can look at all of these different answers. Now, if we go to some of my important questions, this is what it will look like. So you'll see important to you over these questions. So do you think video or computer games are childish? Yes or no? I said no, and it's important to me because I would like someone that doesn't mind my hobbies, that doesn't mind that it's something that I enjoy doing. And then same thing with the next question. It's basically kind of the same thing. The next question after that is, should wealthier people pay higher taxes? The next one is climate change real? So there are many different types of questions, whether it's relating to hobbies that you have or something political or, again, lighthearted, heavy. There's just a bunch of different questions that you can answer and have on here. But now let's get to what you've all been waiting for and look at my profile. Now, as you can see on my main profile, this is my main picture right here. It says my age, my city, my name. This little check mark just means I'm verified and not a bot. And then over here are my descriptors. So you can see man, straight, monogamous, 5'10", average, white, politically liberal. I speak English, Japanese, and Spanish. Undergraduate degree, I'm employed. I'm an English teacher. I'm agnostic. I am an Aries. So you can go through a bunch of different options and say what you are. And then it has more of a nightlife thing. So doesn't smoke cigarettes. I drink sometimes. I never smoke marijuana. And I'm an omnivore, which just obviously means I eat whatever. What you want your future to be like, and like kids and pets. So I don't have kids, but I might want them in the future. Just have to have a conversation with my partner about that. And then I don't have any pets right now, although I would love to have some cats. And then I will read my about me, my self-summary to you guys. So it says, living my best life in Japan. I have so many hobbies. It's getting exhausting to try to keep up with all of them. Mostly nerdy stuff though, stuff like gaming, anime, and whatnot, but I also do active things like run, hike, and play sports when possible. And hope we can chat with a little emoji. And then below my bio, it has a bunch of different things that you might not include in your bio, but that you can answer. And if you've answered it, it will show up under your bio. The ones that are blank don't actually show up, so it's not like cluttering my profile at all. It's just kind of like prompting me to answer something. But the only one I have answered is the talent, which says, I could probably beat you at eating spicy food. If you haven't watched my hot sauce video, go recommend you do that because I love spicy food. Oh, I've actually answered another question I just noticed. It's in the hobbies one. The last show I binged, the last show that I binged that was an anime, which is what I took this as, was on Netflix called Singles Inferno. It's a Korean dating show. But that's just my profile at face value, kind of what the original image people can get is. Let's click on the pictures and I'll show you guys what pictures I've used on OkCupid. So as you can see right here, this is my original profile picture right here. You can upload pictures, it looks like, from the site, so you could take them on a better camera rather than a phone. So this is my original one. This is what people see when they are swiping through the app. This is the first picture that they see. Ain't I so cute? And you can add a caption to them so you can kind of explain what's going on in the picture if you feel like it needs context, or you can just leave it with no context if you think that's better, which I usually do. This is my second picture right here, a little bit more open, less professional, more spur of the moment, just kind of taken, not scripted type of thing. Third picture, I tried to do something funny. This is a city next to me, and it's a tradition, a custom to look between your legs and look at the beach upside down. So I did that, and you can see what I'm doing with my hands. The picture, I think, is very funny, so I put it as my third picture because I feel like it's a good variety on the first three. Fourth one, again, less professional. It even has like a little Instagram caption, so you may have seen this picture before, but this is me in a more casual setting, just getting ready to eat with a couple of people here in Japan. Again, me eating a delicious burger right in the middle of eating. Funny, but also kind of just shows me as a close-up like what you would see if we went out together. Next photo, I guess, is me a little bit more dressed up. This is when I first arrived to Japan, but just a more clean looking photo with a famous thing in the background, so just trying to look more clean and presentable. And then again, another funny one. I always take pictures with these if I ever see them in Japan. I think it's really fun to just kind of upload them and show them to people. And that's the end. And lastly, we'll go through messages that I've sent people, and we'll go through people that I've had at least some type of conversation with, because a lot of times you'll match with someone, send them a message, and never respond. So I'll just kind of go through some of the ones that I have matched with somebody and have gotten a conversation out of it. As you can see, there's a little chat window when you click on their name right over there. On the app, it's its own little section, but since we're on the website, we have to just look over to this section right here. So for this specific person, I looked at their profile and I saw that they played games. And one of the games that they played is a game that I frequent called League of Legends. So I liked their profile. I sent them a message saying, hey, what position do you play in League? And that led to them answering, and we just had a conversation from there. But that's generally what I do when I get a match. I look through their profile. Hopefully they have something that we have in common that I can either ask about. Hopefully they have something in common that I can kind of question them about or relate to them to. If they don't have anything, then I will try to ask them a question based on one of their hobbies or something that they're interested in. But this is basically what I send, to some type of variation of this message each time to every person, unless they have absolutely nothing on their profile, as to which I will try to just say, hey, I think you're cute, we should chat, or something along those lines. So to go to my point earlier, this person that I matched with didn't really have anything on their profile except I think it said let's chat in their bio, and only really had a couple pictures of themselves. So I just started off with hi, I'd love to chat. And she responded and we had a conversation. So the last message that I wanted to show you is from this profile right here. The reason I'm on her profile page is that I just wanted to show you what I said and why I said it. So as you can see on the second line of her self-summary, it says, may I offer you something? Water, tea, juice, food, my heart, a whole life together, with a little emoji afterwards. And so we matched, and the message that I sent to her was, I'll take the best water you can offer. And she said, okay, coming. And then I said, can't wait. After the water, how soon can I have your heart? And I got ghosted after that. But she did respond, so positive, sort of. But these are the kind of interactions that I have, the type of messages that I send on dating apps. And yeah, that's really all for my dating profile. Let me know if you guys saw something that you're interested in seeing more of. If there is something that you think I should fix about my dating profile, let me know down in the comments down below. But hey, if you like hearing my stupid face say stupid things, subscribe to the channel. I post a video every single week. Let me know if you guys like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.